the reason I tell that story, it was it a sixth grade teacher that kind of?
Well, I was always active in the gifted program ever since elementary school, and we stumbled upon another gifted teacher that she was in a program. It's called Center for Talented Youth. It's through Johns Hopkins University, and they have scouters throughout many districts, and they select students and they ask them to take either the PSAT or the ACT, and depending on your scores and what subject you excel in, that's the classes that you take over the summer.
I think in sixth grade I was still trying to learn how to tie my shoes.
In sixth grade I was building rockets.
Yeah.
And I was catching trees on fire and just students do it. I would put a rocket through a roof once, things like that. You know, so that's why when I was go to work at NASA, I went and I applied for this NASA position. I was one of 5 students that was selected at Ames across the country. They interviewed a lot of people, and what they liked my low altitude rocketry experiment, because I took these rockets and I basically. And the first thing is that there's a man that had a rocket club in 6th grade, and I was getting in trouble, and I got in this rocket club, and man, I just loved to build it. I built a Saturn V, and I loved flying stuff and calculating how high the rockets went, how fast they went, multi-stages, and I mean, it got me really so turned on to math. My math turned around, and then I lived in Mexico for 1 year. I lived in my parents, we got away from the United States, and boy, I got to see in Mexico, the kids did not have a chance to get an education. I saw kids 11, 12 years old, they had to work in the fields, and that was it for them. I was like, whoa, I either better get real smart, I'm not going to have a future. I didn't want to have to depend on my body for labor. I worked in the cannery after that, and I saw a guy get his thumb cut off. He lost his job because he couldn't put the little lids on the cans anymore. So my dad always told me, and I believe him, develop your mind, develop your body. Develop your mind, don't count on your body because it's going to break down at some point. And so I followed his wisdom. When I got into interviewed at NASA, they looked at my rocketry work and they hired me on the spot. Usually you have to come back for another interview. They said, "You're hired," and that was over 30 years ago.
Wow.
So Maria, you have an impressive resume. I mean, just talking to you, you're clear that you're intelligent. You know what you're doing. You could do a little dating, but date the men that have already done their math homework. So you guys, do the math homework, and then that way it's all good. Otherwise you go crazy. But seriously, there's so much to do out there. There's so much you can learn, and you're at that point in your life where you can do anything you want. You can be anything. You can do anything. The sky is the limit. And don't ever think that don't ever listen to anybody tell you that you can't do something, because those are the people that are doubtful. They're scared. The people that encourage you, your parents, your friends. People say, go for it. Do as much as you can. Become a PhD, because